Hello, good morning. I'm Joey, and everything I said was gonna happen is happening. Let's go!
Sketched out.
Big moose.
Getting angrier.
Now, if you jump off the roof.
There she goes. You never know what can happen. They're going on,
Here she comes.
That was pretty close.
This pale blue dot is called planet Earth. Everybody you've ever tried to have sex with lives here. Okay, so there's our storm right now. Pretty strong, battering the coast with some very intense winds, man. Look at that. Haida is getting blown off the map. Be careful, Haida. You could end up in Alaska today, but that kind of wind move a whole island for all I know. This is called mid-latitude cyclone. You can see it's counterclockwise, spinning down. That's because the low pressure does that. And you got cold air feeding in from the north. You got warm air feeding up from the south. And together they're making angriness. Let's see what's going on. So here is Canada right now. East Coast, as I said there too, there's pretty bad weather been going on over there. 2 to 4 centimeters in the highlands right now in Cape Breton. Snow tapering off today in southern Quebec. But over in BC, that's where we got the majority of our weather stories. We go to North Columbia this afternoon through Tuesday morning, 15 centimeters of snow, changing to rain, accompanied with ice pellets, a slippery, risk of freezing rain causing slippery conditions, 25 centimeters of snowfall over higher terrain such as Rogers Pass and Yoho Park. The atmosphere river setting up over BC South Coast today will bring a wintry mix of conditions to areas of Columbia District. Snow will begin this afternoon and become mixed with ice pellets and possible freezing rain in the evening before changing to rain overnight or Tuesday morning. 15 centimeters of snow accumulations can be expected, except up to 25 centimeters in higher terrain. Okay, and also in the pass there, Rogers Pass, 15 centimeters there, 25 centimeters, almost the exact same forecast. So I don't know why we got two different forecasts there. Down on Elk Valley side, 75 to 100 millimeters of rain through to Thursday morning. So this is pretty nasty. Of course, some of that's going to come as snow in higher elevations, but total rainfall amounts of 75 to 100 millimeters expected for the region before it tapers off on Thursday. So that's potentially disastrous in terms of landslides and flooding. 75 millimeters to 100 millimeters of rain, Highway 3 between Paulson Summit to Kootenai Pass. And let's go up to Kelowna and American Nectar. Potential for ice-covered slippery surfaces. The warm air aloft arrives coming up from the, as I showed you in that graphic, the way the mid-latitude cyclone is drawing that warm air up. That warm air will come into BC and will cause all of the snow to turn to rain. By early Tuesday morning, the warming will have eroded the cold air and all precipitation should be rain or showers. Keep heading west. Coquihalla Summit, 60 to 80 millimeters of rain through to Tuesday morning. 70 millimeters of rain possible in the Fraser Valley area, including Chilliwack. So that's good that it's not more. We were concerned that maybe the track of the storm would potentially hit that area and hammer it and cause major flood problems. That doesn't seem to be the case exactly. 70 to 100 millimeters of rain in Vancouver. These are high numbers, but they're not some of the disastrous totals we've seen with some of the atmospheric avalanches that we've had before. Sea to sky, 100 millimeters of rain possible there, maybe 70 at the low end. We do see that down the coast, that high tide warning is over. 100 to 150 millimeters of rain still expected from this storm. Could ease Tuesday morning early, and we look up in the east Vancouver Island and News Bay, 50 to 70 millimeters there. And Central Coast North sections gusting to 120 kilometers an hour at times, maybe 90 is reasonable. And that goes all the way up to Haida, same thing. And inland BC, Kitimat, 70 millimeters of rain there. So I was just explaining how you see all this warm air is being drawn up now. You got the high pressure, which is usually the North Pacific high pressure bulge, but it's right now pushed all the way down south, and that's going to allow for even Northern California to get some of this weather as it comes in. Look at some of the crazy winds we got going on, 75 kilometers an hour. That's consistent winds, not gusts. Wind gusts would be quite a bit higher, I'm sure. Let's have a look. Oh boy. Yeah, so wind gusts over 100 kilometers an hour easily in some of that storm. And that goes still along to parts of, say, Bella Coola, North Vancouver Island. Parts of the interior could see windy moments at times today. Even 50 kilometers an hour could take trees down and could put power outages and things like that, right? So 50 kilometers an hour up through into the Peace. Definitely we got some potential on the coast for those to be much, much higher. So we're concerned about wind today being one of the factors to be worried about. And see over the next 3 days, quite a bit of new snow expected to BC in the next 10 days. Quite a bit of new snow, that low, driving a lot of weather in. But of course, rain might be more of the story for most of you in the south once the snow. But very few places, 1.7 centimeters. Very few places are expected to get none. So that's nice. We need snow right now. I mean, this is the truth. So you look at the same crossover, the same places getting snow are getting rain as well. So that's what this warming trend is going to do. And unfortunately, it will last a little while. So here's today's snowfall expectations. Monday, 11 a.m. The atmospheric river is here, and it's now affecting British Columbia widely. It's snowing outside my window here in Wells, BC, and that's wonderful. We do have that potential into this late this afternoon, this evening, of some of that being freezing rain right through the central parts of the province. So we are concerned that even if you don't have weather warnings on right now, so heavy rains hitting Vancouver, heavy rains hitting the South Island. But if you are traveling anywhere tonight, overnight, and you hit into some of this freezing rain, it doesn't need to be a lot. It doesn't need to be enough to cause even a weather warning or something like that. It can simply be enough to relocate your vehicle into the ditch. And so we're watching temperatures rising at this time, and you can see, if we just go to temperature, you can see the graph that we got warmer temperatures coming in Tuesday. Most of BC warming up, except for maybe a few of us up here in the high mountains, coast mountains. But no, really, BC is warming up because the storm is driving all that warm weather up and in. And you can see where that atmospheric river is really drawing through. It's really hitting Oregon, and it's really aiming towards Washington State. So we are getting a little bit of a bypass on this. It's, of course, bringing quite a bit of moisture into southern BC over the next bunch of days. It will bring snow and mix, and it will turn to rain, as we've been seeing now. However, the fortunate thing is that this long line of precipitation wasn't, say, going to Fraser Valley or somewhere where flooding potential could cause big stories in British Columbia. So here's what we're looking at. We've got warmer weather coming for a little bit. It won't stick, you know. It never does. Things starting to clear up as we get later in the week, except for the southern section of BC. If you're down in Fernie and the Kootenays, Cranbrook Trail, all that kind of places, areas south of Revelstoke into the Rocky Mountains, you're going to be holding on to that snow longer. As you saw, where that tail of the atmospheric river is, you know, it's obviously breaking up its organization at this point, but still some of that moisture is kind of heading on that same trajectory. By Thursday, we are looking at the probability of most of BC having some nice weather for a change. That will be welcome. 8 a.m. Well, it's chilly. So overnight lows will be chilly. -14 for here in Wells. Is that what I probably just saw? I hope not, but that's okay. I got a wood stove. I keep warm. So yeah, definitely that warm period kind of subsides as we get into that higher pressure this week, but that's okay. And as I said in my video the other day, some of these temperatures, in the Chilcotin could get chilly. Here in the Rockies and Caribous could get chilly. But what we're seeing is largely a break from that weather later in the week until the next series of storms comes in. Here's everything I know. Not everything I know. Here's enough details. I made you a 25-minute video last time, so we're trying not to do that today. Trying to keep it succinct. Here's what to look for through your week. And as we come into the weekend, bam, you see that low showing back up. So Saturday morning, we'll back up a little bit to Friday. Overnight, we're going to see a storm probably make landfall on Friday. So, and as you can tell by that long ribbon of moisture, although the high is kind of broken down in the North Pacific, it's definitely not in the North Pacific. That high that tends to live here is kind of feeding on the land, but it's still providing enough of a blockage to send that moisture all north. So we got a long looking ribbon of rain and snow and precipitation that next weekend could be a real story. And if that 974 low, that's pretty low. That's pretty low. Right in behind it, that high pressure trying to redevelop the North Pacific high. So, we're into a period of stormy, crappy weather, but at least the extreme cold is still not here this year. There's a good chance it won't be much of it if El Nino predictions hold. On Sunday, definitely for northern BC, something to look forward to. Again, that's now 5 days away, so 6 days away. It remains to be seen exactly what that's going to look like when that time comes. But this gives us a bigger picture of what to sort of expect, more or less. If you live in Prince George, are you going to see 20 centimeters this weekend, or 50, or 10? I don't know. You're going to see snow, okay? Well, as we get closer to the time, we'll get a better idea of what that will look like, with accuracy at least. I mean, I could throw numbers out and guess right now. It might not do much good. Suffice to say, and there's that big, here we go, and I was talking about both coasts. That's just nuts. So I was talking the other day about how all that cool air is going to slip down into the United States, and it's going to start causing, you got all this moisture moving up through here. We're talking about the possibility of some very severe thunderstorm outbreaks. That's cool. Look at this cold air coming through at nighttime. That's all you need in the backside. With this warm air moving up, you're going to have some convergence zones around here somewhere, it looks like. So I guess that we're looking at some pretty substantial thunderstorms through Missouri, Arkansas, Indiana, Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, Appalachia, and that's into the weekend. So these could be destructive. These could be some really strong storms in there. And you see how that's going to force its way up into Ontario, into the Great Lakes area. We got this atmospheric river going on this next coming weekend on the West Coast. This one's going to start to pull together, form up, make a big storm over the Great Lakes area after these severe thunderstorm potentials, Texas, of course, into Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, all these places that may see very dangerous, severe, deadly thunderstorms, and that's entirely realistic for this is what we call second tornado season into the fall, and we just watch how that's going to move itself up into Ontario and cause all kinds of chaos, rain, and in the backside snow as the cold air is brought down, and we see it's more or less a very strong looking atmospheric river heading up into Atlantic Canada for next week again. So we got, as I've been saying for a couple weeks around here, we have potential for atmospheric rivers on both coasts. Aren't we lucky? And then just have a little look at radar this morning. These things will all change, right? So that's the problem is why I don't show radar often in my videos. I do post radar clips and whatnot on our group, but because by the time you get this video and it's tonight and you look at this radar image, you're like, oh, look, it's snowing in Kamloops. Well, no, that was this morning. But for right now, we do have, of course, in through here, mix of rain and snow through Chase and Sconlith into that area. So definitely raining east of there, but all the way through Savinaw, Loon Lake, Kamloops, Mewanee Creek, down to Stump Lake. Not all the way to Vernon, but Kelowna probably, Penticton, Culloden, Beaverdale, Oliver, Rock Creek. All of you probably seeing some snow right now. And into the Columbias, strangely, you would think that it would be the opposite, that it would have the snow on this side and the rain on this side. That's not what's happening right now. So lots of rain going on in Avila, Avonby, Nakusp, Revelstoke, places like that. Let's have a look at the Caribou and see what's going on here. Bam, big time snow, but we do have up by Fraser Lake and Pinchy right now. That's freezing rain. That's what this color indication is. So we got freezing rain through Fort St. James, Akuchitachi, Fraser Lake, Vanderhoof, and all of them locations. We're very concerned about that. Snowing pretty hard up Chief Lake, up on the Hart, and of course on the 16 highway heading towards out to Dorm Creek and McBride, places like that. 97 corridor between Prince George and Quesnel, not terrible, but as you head south, there's definitely some flurries going on in through there, and you go to Anaheim Lake, everywhere along that 20 highway going west, you may run into some flurries. But flurries, no big deal. Look what's going on in Vancouver Island right now. Of course, the mountains block the radar, so you don't really know what's going on in the mountains here. But if we look at up by Surge, Narrows, Bull, Clawhoose, Manson's Landing, C4, big time rain in those areas north of Lund. And then over on the Vancouver Island side as well, Saratoga Beach, Black Creek, not quite in Campbell River, but Merville and Lazo and Courtenay, all getting very heavy rain right now. Strong rains to Denman, Fanny Bay, Great Central, through the middle of the island, out towards Tofino. So yeah, Vancouver Island getting the rain right now. That's what's been going on. I think that's more or less everything I got to say for my video today. So I hope that you found these helpful. And I hope that it will encourage you to subscribe to Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude. I'm a guy who lives in the mountains. He's in relative poverty, and I want to be something more. I want to be your weatherman. Come back again, please. Bye.